Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Mic'd Up Savages. I'm here today with Murph, and today we're talking about the non-tendered free agents, guys who did not receive contracts from their teams that are now on the market. There was around like 51 popping up over the past few days,
Yeah.
and the deadline was yesterday, Wednesday, and we got guys like Kyle Schwarber, possible fit for the New York Yankees. I mean, what are your thoughts on possible bringing in Kyle Schwarber to the Yankees?
I think there's a lot of pros and cons. I think the biggest pro, obviously, being he's a lefty bat. We need lefty bats. We crave lefty bats. And it's not even because of short porch, although that does help. We just need diversity in this lineup. And right now, if you look at it, we got one for sure switch hitter and Aaron Hicks in the lineup. Brett Gardner hasn't been re-signed, and he'd be our only other lefty.
And he shouldn't be in the lineup every day, just to begin with.
Yeah. So right now, our lineup's way too right-handed dominant, and we need to bring in a lefty. Problem is, Schwarber, he's kind of suspect with the glove. He would only be able to play left, DH, possibly first base. So he's kind of suspect with the glove, and he kind of fits the mold of four of the guys we got, right? He's a home run type, he's a power guy. We already got Sanchez. We already got, Judge, Stan, Voit, right? Do we really need to be adding a fifth guy who fits that mold?
In my opinion, we don't.
So this is kind of I wouldn't be surprised to see we sign him because I think Cashman's been after him since the Aroldis Chapman trade. He's been after him.
Since that Cubs World Series when he came back and hit 412, they've been after him,
I think he's got a high ceiling. I'd say maybe. I think the Yankees are definitely going to keep their eye on him and possibly bring him in if there isn't a high enough market for him. But I wouldn't make this move. Like, if you were to sign DJ a move, Schwarber would not be your second move.
Oh, no.
No. So
I would do a trade, almost a somewhat blockbuster trade before you go after.
I would say the other only good thing about bringing in Schwarber is it opens you up to trade Clint, obviously. And then after you trade Clint, you can go out and get the big trade. Like maybe you go after a starter, maybe you go after relief, maybe you go after Lindor. I don't know. So that's the only other good thing about this.
We have another lefty bat from the Minnesota Twins. Before, he would be a nice bat to add to the Yankees. He's kind of a pal. He's got a little pop, he's got a nice glove. He has the contact, but I'm just very surprised they non-tendered him. He's been there he's been a rock for the Minnesota Twins for a while now. So, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy. I would have never thought they would non-tenure Eddie Rosario like that. I thought he was kind of part of their core almost. I don't know if that might be going too far, but I was really surprised to see them non-tender him, especially since, he had one kind of suspect year, but if you look throughout his stint in MLB, he's really been pretty consistent, and especially since 19, where he put up, 38, 32 big flies? Yeah, he's a monster. He hits 270 pretty consistently. He's got a pretty solid glove. I mean, again, that's a guy I'd love the Yankees to look at, but in terms of, the lefty outfielders, he's probably going to go for the most. He's probably going to be on a lot of teams' radar because he's pretty consistent. Just 270, he's going to get you home runs. He can hit for power, can hit for contact, got a solid glove. So, yeah, lefty bat. I mean, I think I'd rather the Yankees go after him than Schwarber, but if I'm being honest, he's probably out of the price range.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely be a little bit more money. But there is one other lefty, David Dahl on the Rockies. He not on the Rockies anymore, free agent, of course. Lefty bat. He's got a pretty decent glove, nice arm, and I think he's a lot cheaper than the two of them.
Yeah, I think he's going to be by far the cheapest out of those three lefty bats, and I think he may have the highest ceiling. Honestly,
it's low cost, high ceiling, high ceiling.
How old is he? Do you know? He's 20.
He's in his 20s. I know that.
Yeah, I know. I think he's mid-20s, something like that. But he's
power
a really
bat
good player.
too.
He's a really good player.
Yeah. He was dead. He's deadly in Coors Field. So I mean, I would not mind trying him out there, especially if we're going to trade Clint. So.
Yeah, and he's a buy low candidate, right? So it's not like you're going to be spending a whole bunch of money on him. He may he's supposed to make $2 million this year. I don't think he'll command any more than $3 million. Anything more than that, maybe I see you letting him go. But this is a pretty. I would wouldn't be surprised. I think the Yankees really like the Colorado hitters. If you look, DJ, Tommy Conley, or
Yeah.
not Talkman, excuse me.
Mm.
But yeah, they really like those Colorado boys, and I wouldn't be surprised if they took a shot at Dahl. I like his game. He's a solid. If it wasn't for those injuries, I think he'd be a really really solid player.
I mean, you also got is there there's going to be a universal DH this year? Because some of these guys may just be re-signed just for the fact they could DH now.
I'd assume there's going to be a universal DH.
Yeah, I thought it played fine this year.
Yeah,
it really wasn't.
I think it was definitely a plus, especially since nobody wants to see the pitcher bat. I'm sorry, pitchers, nobody wants to see you hit. It's for most guys
safe. It also keeps it safe.
Yeah.
So.
For most guys, it's like a strikeout or maybe just bunt situation for those pitchers. But in the cases where it does work out, it's awesome to see a mad bump go yah, right? But yeah, I definitely let's just stick to universal DH. Let's protect the pitchers and in a sense kind of make the game more interesting and give more guys jobs.
One of the other guys I thought maybe would be a fit, somewhere in our lineup, would be the Hanser Alberto of Baltimore or Adam Duvall of the Braves. Both I think are going to be very expensive. Though. Yeah, Alberto's going to be expensive because he's a DJ LeMahieu type of hitter. Not same level, but he did hit 299 in 2 years with Baltimore. Very under the radar kind of guy, though.
Out of the two, I definitely would rather get Alberto. Duvall just doesn't really do it for me.
He's a home run.
Yeah, again, he fits that mold. We already got 4 guys who can do that. We don't need another one, right? And he kind of is diverse. So you can play outfield, you can play infield a little bit. You play first, give you center, right? But for the most part, I think I'd try to avoid Adam Duvall. Maybe if he was willing to come off the bench, but just to give us that extra depth. But I think he's going to be too expensive, and he's going to want to start somewhere. Alberto, same thing. I think a little bit too expensive to be a bench piece on our roster, but that'd be awesome if he came cheap.
Yeah, and I'm just for the Duvall, I don't think the Braves should let him walk like this. They kind of need another bat in their lineup besides Freddie, Ozzie, and Acuna. You got the veteran presence also of Duvall to help with the youngsters. So they'll lose offensive production with him gone. And especially if they don't re-sign Ozuna. So we're still waiting to hear about that. Pitching wise, though, what would you think of an Archie Bradley?
I like Archie. I like him a lot. I think he'd be a good fit. I think he's a guy he's like a workhorse. He can go in there and he can give you a few innings, and he's pretty consistent for the most part. He was doing really well with the D-backs, and then kind of hit a snag a little bit, and then he got traded to the Reds. And I was surprised they non-tenured him. That was kind of weird. You traded for him and then let him go like that. That's strange to me, especially since you're trying to make playoff pushes. I think he's a guy who really helps you in that situation. But hey, I'd love to take him off their hands, Let him walk.
Definitely. He's a Tommy Kahnle.
Exactly.
He has that bulldog mentality, kind of come in no matter what and just shove,
Exactly. So I'd love to have him. I think he's a good presence from what I've seen on all the podcasts he's been on and stuff. Yeah,
he's the man. He has that FU attitude. Gotta love it. Especially him and the Dodgers. He doesn't like the Dodgers. We don't like the Dodgers in New York, in my opinion. I don't like them. Especially if we're gonna have to face off with them in the World Series, if we could just make that push. And some of these guys on this list can help us make that push. One guy, this may be a stretch. He was originally with the Rays. He was a part of their whole opener, bullpen, probably could take a page out of their book. They've been doing it somewhat decently, right? Ryan Stanek from the Marlins. He had a horrible year, but
I don't know. Especially, I guess, again, this would be one of those things where Cashman sneaky buy low move. Everyone's like, "What are you doing, Cashman?"
And then it pans out,
and then it pans out. That's one of those type of moves. In my mind, I don't like it. In my mind, I think the Yankees should be spending, because I think right now they have a really good opportunity to get us over that hunch and finish the job instead of knocking on the door and then not even getting to the World Series.
There's enough guys on this list that
especially the non-tenured alone. If you pick up an Archie Bradley, if you pick up a Dahl or Schwarber or a Rosario, right there alone, we could get
20 homers. It's at least 20 homers and at least 60 RBIs. like from offensive production, and then at least you got like a high 2 to a low 3 in the pen.
Exactly.
Like, so, and then like again, the Stanek, he was somewhat of an opener / starter for the Marlins, and like I would rather we just throw that whole opener crap in the garbage and just let our pitchers pitch.
Yeah, I think the only opener that's ever worked for us is Chad Green, and even then it's pretty sketchy because it's like they tend to overuse him, right? They usually go like they'll give him 1 or 2, and then if they try to stretch him anything more than that, it gets ugly quick. And I'm not a big fan of it. It's like I'm not a big fan of the opener at all. I think we have to just stick with starters because I think starters who give you 7 innings, you're good to go. You're gonna win. You're gonna win games. You're gonna win championships. And that, if you look at the Nationals, that's how they did it. If you look at the Dodgers, that's how they did it for the most part. The Rays, that's how they got there. They had 3 guys that could say, "Hey, go give me 7," and they're like, "We got you."
Yeah.
And then they go, "But we're gonna yank you out of the 5th, and you're gonna lose the game."
Yes. And then we were talking a little bit before, but Jonathan Holder was non-tender. Do you think the Yankees sign him back? You know, because if again, I got to see what they're gonna do. There's been nothing happening right now.
Yeah, it's all been pretty weak stuff. Like the only thing, it's basically like, is DJ gonna resign? What's the next move after that, right? It's DJ's like the first move that has to fall in line for the Yankees.
That needs to be the first and like the first move. Like, and it better not be
anything else. That's like, I think that's what they're saying. Then they're like, "Hey, listen, you're our priority. You're the guy we're going after right now." And after we get you,
said that yet? It's like DJ, you're the guy. No team has said that. Just the Yankees are the ones that have publicly said like, "You're the A candidate, A+ candidate. We're getting you," and that's it.
Yeah, we're moving. After we get you, then we'll do other things. But until then, you're the guy.
Yeah.
Right. So I think he needs, after he falls into place, like back with the Yankees, then we'll just start to see things start to pick up a little bit. But it's been weak rumors, you know. It's like the usual, like, oh, could they go after Cole Hamels? Like, I don't know. I honestly have no idea what the budget's looking like. It sounds like they want to save, which is stupid. Because they can go out and get. I'm not saying go out and get a Bauer, mind you, although that would be cool. I'm not saying that, but like you got guys who can help this team who aren't going to cost an arm and a leg, maybe. The only other guy I'd maybe say is maybe JT, because I think we need a catcher. And I don't know if it's worth going through the struggle of trying to fix a Gary Sanchez.
If, again, bold statement here, but, you know, if Gary has another bad year, do you think could you see him either mid-season getting dumped or getting sent down?
I think if by the All-Star break, if he's having a kind of repeat performance of this past season, you have to look for a catcher. You have to. You cannot roll through the whole season with Gary Sanchez like this, right? Because then it just shows the fans that you almost don't care. Like you're almost just like willing to sacrifice the catching position. Because it's like if he's not improving defensively, he's not improving offensively, then why is he on the roster? He's just taking up a spot. So I think he's got till the All-Star break to show something.
Yeah.
And I hope it's not one of those things where like they're like he's on the cusp of breaking out, right? He's about to catch fire. Watch. And then he flames out. So I don't know. In my opinion, it was no surprise that they tenured him a contract, mind you.
Yeah.
Anybody who thought he was going to get non-tenured, you're an idiot. There was no chance in hell they were going to non-tenure him.
They're not going to let him walk and then him do something. They're going to sign him to cheap, and then if he does continue to suck, they'll just trade him, or you never just keep tendering him a contract kind of thing.
So I think he's got till the All-Star break to show him something, and then they have to go get a catcher.
They were saying that like JT Realmuto could fit in the picture for the Yankees. It's just like, you know, I don't care about anyone else in the market right now. I want DJ.
Yeah.
You know, because I know he'll hit at least 280 for us. Like no matter at minimum 275 for the Yankees, and that'll be really good. You know, like he'll go out there and produce, and then we can get worried about JT. Or if he's even signed by then. I don't even know. Like, when is the winter meetings technically? December? End of December?
I have no idea, honestly. I would think coming up soon, like mid-September or mid-December.
Yeah.
But they could be pushing them back to the new year. I have no idea, maybe. Normally they would start up pretty soon here, like in probably next week, maybe the following.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. I mean, I think that's when you'll start to see it pick up a bit more, especially with this non-tenured stuff getting out of the way. Teams are going to start to make more signings. Yeah, I just hope the Yankees don't just sit back. I need them to sign DJ. I need them to add something else. I need a starter, a reliever, and a lefty bat. Those are like the three things I would say we desperately need.
And not a lefty bat that can just like it's like a DH. Because in my opinion, still like Kyle Schwarber in my mind was always like he's like his glove is like sus and his the lefty bat, but he, like you can't DH him because you got Stanton.
Yeah.
Unless Cashman does whatever Yankee fan wants to do and trade dump Stanton's contract, But who the hell knows? Because because I like the Rosario or Dahl, but Rosario is going to be a lot as we said.
Yeah.
So go out and get Dahl because
I like Dahl.
Yeah, the Rockies would have signed him by now. The Rockies are normally a quick team to going out and getting their like former pieces. They were pretty quick with Nolan. And I think they're going to be pretty quick with Story. They're going to offer Story a lot of money, and he's going to jump. But yeah, there are World Series pieces for a lot of teams. Like this could help a lot of teams. These few guys that I mentioned, and there's definitely a few more out there. But that'll help teams grow, and should be an interesting offseason. I can't wait. I need this winter meetings to start up because it's starting to be a drag, man.
Yeah, dude, the news slowing down. I just need that DJ re-sign notification. I can start to get happy again. That's the first. Again, if that piece falls in line, I'm good. We're in a good path.
So DJ, sign. I'll let you live in my house. It's like 45 minutes away from Yankee Stadium.
No.
What?
He's gonna be making like hundreds of millions of dollars.
I'll sell you my house to stay with the Yankees.
What?
It's not enough, but it'll be like it's not even a year of his contract.
No, not even close.
Yeah, not even close. Not even close.
That's like maybe a game. Like if he steps up to the plate, he could probably buy your house.
Well, DJ, just sign with us, please, because I really do think that he'll be the first one to sign.
Yeah. In
my mind, and then as soon as he signs, people will be like, GMs will be like, okay, it's safe to start going, and they'll start getting players. Because there's like always iffiness now with the coronavirus, everything saying like, oh, shortened season. I'm not gonna like jump at a guy right away, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, Murph, thank you as always for joining me on this Mic'd Up Savage podcast. It's been great, and we're gonna keep producing content together. So, everyone, have a good day. See you in the next one.